We find Joseph in deep sorrow as he mourns his father's death. Overwhelmed by grief, he shows his love and respect for his father, Jacob, in a poignant display of emotion. Joseph, a figure of strength and resilience, is not immune to the pain of loss. His tears are a testament to the deep bond he shared with his father, a relationship that had weathered many storms and endured the test of time. As we delve deeper into this emotional scene, we encounter a significant practice of the times, the embalming process. This was not a common practice among the Hebrews, but rather a distinctly Egyptian custom. Joseph, who had lived a large part of his life in Egypt, chose to honor his father in this manner, reflecting the cultural fusion that was a part of his identity. The embalming process was a 40-day period, a meticulous and sacred ritual that allowed the Egyptians to preserve the body for the afterlife. It was a mark of great respect, and a testament to the high regard in which Jacob was held, not only by his son Joseph but also by the Pharaoh and the Egyptian people. But Joseph's responsibility did not end with these funeral preparations. He was also tasked with fulfilling his father's final wish, to be buried in the land of his forefathers, Canaan. This was a significant request, as it symbolized Jacob's unwavering connection to his roots and the promises of God. Joseph, loyal and dutiful, prepares to undertake this journey, carrying with him the weight of his grief and the resolve to honor his father's legacy. Joseph, honoring his father's final wishes, prepares for the journey to Canaan for the burial. As we continue to explore Joseph's journey, we will see how his actions reflect not only his deep love for his father but also his unwavering faith in God's promises. Joseph, having obtained Pharaoh's permission, embarks on the journey to Canaan. His heart is heavy with grief, but his resolve is unwavering, spurred by the promise he made to his father, Jacob. This journey is not just a physical one, but a spiritual and emotional pilgrimage, as Joseph fulfills his father's last wish. A grand procession leaves Egypt, carrying Jacob's body, prepared in the Egyptian practice of embalming. Joseph is accompanied by his brothers, Pharaoh's officials, and all the senior members of Pharaoh's household. This grand entourage, a testament to Jacob's influence and respect he held even in a foreign land, travels to Canaan, the land promised by God to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Upon reaching their destination, they halt at the threshing floor of Atad, beyond the Jordan. Here they express their sorrow and grief in a display of mourning that lasts for 7 days. This period of mourning is so profound and intense that the Canaanite locals take notice, dubbing the place Abel Mizraim, or Mourning of the Egyptians. After the mourning period, Joseph fulfills his father's wish by burying Jacob in the cave of the field of Machpelah, near Mamre. This cave, purchased by Abraham as a burial place, holds significant meaning for Joseph and his family. It's where Abraham and Sarah were buried, where Isaac and Rebekah lay, and where Jacob had buried Leah. By burying Jacob here, Joseph not only honors his father's last wish, but also reaffirms the covenant between God and his forefathers. With Jacob's burial complete, Joseph and his entourage return to Egypt. This return journey is not just a physical trek back to their current home, but a symbolic journey as well. They carry with them not just the memories of their father and grandfather, but also the solemn promise of a divine covenant. This journey, this burial, and this mourning period serve as a poignant reminder of their heritage, their faith, and the promises of God that continue to guide them. Back in Egypt, Joseph's brothers fear retribution for their past actions. The air is heavy with apprehension as they recall their harsh treatment of Joseph in their youth. Their hearts are filled with remorse and they question whether Joseph, now the second most powerful man in Egypt, would seek vengeance for their past wrongs. In a desperate bid to secure their safety, they decide to send a message to Joseph, begging for his forgiveness. They implored him to forgive the sins of his brothers, the servants of their father's God. Their message was a plea, a testament to their repentance and their fear. They had wronged Joseph and they knew it. They were ready to become his slaves, to pay for their sins. But Joseph, in his infinite wisdom and kindness, chooses a different path. Despite their fear, Joseph reassures his brothers, displaying an act of profound forgiveness. Joseph's actions here paint a vivid picture of love and mercy, a testament to his character and his unwavering faith. Opening, Joseph's response to his brother's plea is one of mercy and reassurance. Now, we find ourselves in a moment of tension. The brothers, haunted by their past misdeeds, fear that Joseph might now, after their father's death, seek vengeance. In their desperation, they send a message to Joseph pleading for forgiveness. They position themselves as servants of God and remind Joseph of their father's wish for peace among them. But Joseph, oh dear Joseph, he responds with such grace and wisdom. He says to his brothers, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." His words are a testament to his faith, his understanding that God can turn even the gravest of wrongs into a source of blessing. Joseph reassures his brothers. He tells them, "Don't be afraid, am I in the place of God?" With this question, he acknowledges the divine order of things, that it is not his place to judge or to punish. Instead, he offers them forgiveness, a profound act of mercy that speaks volumes about his character. But Joseph doesn't stop there. He makes them a promise. He says, "I will provide for you and your children." He doesn't just forgive them, he commits to their well-being, to their future. He promises to care for them, to ensure they have what they need. In this moment we see the depth of Joseph's character. His actions are not driven by resentment or bitterness. Instead, he chooses love. He chooses forgiveness. He embodies the essence of mercy, providing reassurance to his brothers and a promise of provision. And so, even in the face of fear and uncertainty, Joseph's actions demonstrate a heart of love and forgiveness, even towards those who wronged him. His response is one of mercy, of reassurance, a testament to his faith and his understanding of God's greater plan. Closing, Joseph's actions demonstrate a heart of love and forgiveness, even towards those who wronged him. As Joseph's life nears its end, he makes a prophetic statement about the Israelites' future. He has lived a long and fulfilling life in Egypt, a life of trials and triumphs, of sorrow and joy. As Joseph feels the sands of time slipping through his fingers, he gathers his people around him, his heart heavy with the weight of his words. He tells them, "God will surely come to your aid and take you up out of this land to the land he promised on oath to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob." Joseph, in his final moments, does not forget the promise that God made to his forefathers. He holds on to this promise with unwavering faith, assuring his people that they will not remain in Egypt forever. They will return to the land their ancestors walked, the land God promised them. But Joseph does not stop there. He makes one final request from his people. He says, "When God comes to your aid, you must carry my bones up from this place." Joseph, who has spent most of his life in Egypt, wishes to rest in the land of his forefathers. He desires to be a part of the promise God made to his people. This request is not a mere whim of an old man, it is a testament to his faith. It is a testament to his belief in God's promises. He knows he won't see the fulfillment of God's promise in his lifetime, but he wishes to be a part of it, even in death. Joseph's faith in God's plan is evident, even in his final moments. His life may be drawing to a close, but his faith remains unbroken. He holds on to the promises of God, assuring his people of a future filled with hope. He leaves them with a legacy of faith, a testament of trust in God's greater plan. And with that, Joseph, the dreamer, the interpreter of dreams, the beloved son, the forgiving brother, the wise leader, breathes his last, leaving behind a legacy that would echo through the ages.